After a certain point, the agency lifestyle the work culture became toxic, unforgiving, thankless. Working in ad agency is nothing less than intellectual prostitution.
Oh my God. The industry that we both work, is not a very good industry. It looks very flashy and glamorous. I want to know from you, Riju, the darker side of our industry.
Early Gen Zs, I would say, the end of millennials. They will come out with Canva designed output and idea.
There was this very controversial ad that happened recently. Fair and Lovely, you know.
हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर कंपनी ने अपने ब्रांड फेयर एंड लवली से फेयर शब्द हटाने की घोषणा कर दी है.
Packaged drinking water, Bisleri, okay. पहले उनका label was blue. Then they made it green. So you see now 90% of the packaged drinking water is going all green. Why is that कि एक trend set होता है and then everyone starts following it?
Performance of the app and the availability of restaurant, I personally feel Zomato is not up to the mark.
Mahindra did a very nice ad with their latest car. They did a campaign from an old song of Nazia Hussain, Boom Boom, okay, they recreated it. And that became a massive hit.
Cooking becomes a stress when it's given to one person.
What are the typical mistakes people do in kitchen, like, ergonomics?
We are moving at a pace faster than thought or faster than light, I would say.
So how important is their involvement in selecting a kitchen? Because I think they spend a good amount of time in kitchen. Most people think kitchen is more about design, but what it is all about, fill in the blank, please.
I think kitchen is where
Hi guys, this is David from Tusker Kitchen and welcome to our podcast Built to Last by Tusker Kitchens. आज के जो हमारे guest है, he is a very interesting personality, very unique. He has spent 23 years in advertising world, in cracking campaigns and writing script and generating a huge amount of revenue for brands. He did something back then which nowadays people call it as remote. He started his own remote agency by the name Green Soda. And today he is successfully running that agency. And apart from that, he also decided one fine day to go in a classroom and start teaching and started asking very, very uncomfortable and unconventional questions like, why do men don't cook? So please welcome our guest, Riju Paulose, on a platform Built to Last by Tusker Kitchens. Hi, Riju. Welcome to our podcast Built to Last by Tusker Kitchens. So, Riju, I just want to know where are you from and, your journey so far. So, can you just tell in a bit to our audience about your journey?
Yeah, sure. Hi, David. It's a great, opportunity to talk about Tusker, and it's a candid interview, I understand. So, talking about my professional life, I started advertising in 2003 as a copywriter. I have handled industries like real estate, FMCG, retail, fashion, entertainment, all the industries. I would say I have done everything and a little bit of everything in advertising in my career so far. That spans about 2 decades. I come from Kerala. I'm 46 now. So I have a son.
Prime age, yeah.
Yeah, I have a son who's 19,
Sure.
and my wife is working from home. So that's a small family, but my parents are in Cochin. I keep traveling in between. They're aging, so every month I visit to Cochin. So yeah, I'm balancing my own work. Right now I am on an entrepreneur's journey.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I have my own agency which is working on a remote model.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's just growing. It's been 2 years. I work with clients, very few clients, and my resources are spread across the world.
Great,
Yeah.
great. So I think from 2003 to I think 2026, almost 30 years, right? I think it's a huge time for
Yeah.
somebody like you to spend.
Yeah.
So did you see any changes from that era to this era? And if yes, what are the major changes?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, because when I joined advertising, there used to be internet only in one computer, the desktop, And to
What
do
was
English,
the speed of that internet?
I don't remember in kbps, maybe 12 kbps, 24 kbps, something like that.
Okay.
But dial up, you had to dial and you had to wait. So for any research, there's a small window of research. You have to go there when during the lunch hour or something, because a designer is using that. So only one machine had softwares of design softwares, and all your research you had to depend on
That
and
particular-
volumes of encyclopedia, hard copy. The agencies used to have that.
Oh, great.
There used to be magazines, archives of previous ads. That was our black book where we take photos, scan, create layouts, ideas. So it was really fun. The whole creation process was fun. My day one, I still remember I got this brand called Reva Electric, and I was asked to write.
They're still there, I guess.
Yeah,
right? The-
Mahindra has taken over.
Mahindra. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
E2O it is called.
Sure.
So this brand, they wanted me to write a copy headline for options. The creative director gave me the task, and I wrote some 20-25 headlines. The one which I approved, I still remember. I think from Indiranagar to MG Road at 40 paise.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the kind of headlines. So it was very functional, because if you look at the mileage, it would calculate that.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll go in detail, but to cut it short, I was entering the time where advertising art directors and copywriters were moving from the hardbound, or the spray painted creative artworks to digital.
Sure.
So that transition, I have not seen typesetting.
Yeah.
By the time it is over, only thing I remember is drum scanning, scanning of images for high resolution the output for hoardings and all. They used to scan, and then we used to put it in the layout and stuff. But ideation process, to me, it has not changed.
Sure.
I still approach the same old method.
Sure.
But yeah, it is changing. Every now and then we are seeing, every 20 years we are seeing a change. For example, if you look at a point, when AI, this is the current, trending topic. So during the 50s, when computers were, heavily used for enterprise business solutions, people thought a lot of jobs will be lost. It did. It did. Certain clerical jobs, accounting jobs, it had taken away. But in the 70s, it further, and not 70s, every 20 years we have seen a revolution. The internet revolution started in 2000. So internet changed. You people use technology,
Correct.
and it only builds efficiency, is what I feel.
Sure.
Similarly with AI, I think it's a matter of time when people start to embrace AI rather than repulsive about it. You have to grow with the tools you have. But I feel AI will eventually help build efficiency, productivity, output. You don't have to depend on a lot of people or a lot of resources.
I agree with you. Sure. Sure.
For example, production. Film productions where you depend on sets, creation of large physical sets. The background environment creation I'm talking about, not the core real performance. But the set can be done beautifully in AI,
Sure.
with a mix of real world production plus AI.
So I think that's the major change I can say in last 30 years. But I also want to know, Riju, ki, in this particular time, the kind of creativity agency or a creator or a marketer used to apply back then versus now, because of, generative AI and your internet and all. Do you think the creativity has got hampered a little bit? Why? Because, one of my favorite campaigns, okay, is by Pulsar, Bajaj. They came up with a campaign called as Definitely Mail.
Yeah.
So back then, it worked out. And it worked out. I still remember that campaign. Definitely. So, and in today's world, okay, I don't remember any campaign because there is so much of noise around, there is so much of pollution happening, there's a digital fatigue. So, what do you think that creative essence what a person had back then versus today? Only because of this, people have become a little lethargic in thinking, or how? I
No.
want to know your take on this.
It's true in a sense, because if you look at the attention span of people have been reduced drastically to 10 seconds, 12 seconds reels.
Sure.
So people are scrolling through with the new feature in Instagram, auto scroll. You don't even have to scroll.
Oh,
So it will just keep on playing. Okay,
Yeah.
you can lock the speed.
Yeah.
There are lengthy videos coming. You can lock the speed and finish the content consumption. So the moment tech comes into entertainment and it becomes, a lot of clutter.
sure.
That is where it is more important for brands to stand out and create interesting stories that can, stand out and, talk to your audience.
No, but my question is for the creative people, the brain behind the campaign.
Yes, yes. So, yes,
yeah.
I'm coming to that thing. The thought process or the creation process has become, I would say, more sharper with the help of AI. So, you don't have to depend on digging through large reports, research documents where the summary is easily available through AI. And then that insight is taken to transform into a beautiful campaign.
Sure.
So that process will not change. The people who are the only negative I see is the entry level jobs of different industry, not only advertising. Entry level jobs, the young Gen Z especially, when they are coming into the work front, their jobs are becoming a challenging thing. So, so what I suggest is, like, what I have always tried to encourage my students where I teach at Mount Carmel. I teach cultural studies and advertising
Wow.
and brand and advertising design.
Yeah. And with what age group is this, the students?
They're a second year BBA, third year BBAs, find their pet. So I always tell them to use available tools to build a story, to back up your story, the data. So that definitely is, you have to take AI tools as a support system rather than depending on AI. So it's how you use a tool. It's like, as in simple words, some you would see some people riding a scooter. You will feel like the scooter is taking them, but actually you have to be in control. You are driving the vehicle. So like that, you have to use the tool to your advantage, and the work format doesn't change. It just becomes a lot efficient and easier.
But the creativity has changed.
There is a lot of clutter being generated. So it is certainly.
So somebody from your era, my era,
Yeah.
okay, a person who is sitting versus somebody who is very young,
Yeah.
a young guy who has come. His creative process and our creative process is completely different.
Yes.
So I mean they are very fast
Yes.
because of
Yeah.
all the tools that are available. And we come from a very old school
Yeah.
mentality where we still believe in scratching. If I create a campaign, I start from scratching it, then write it, then visualize it, then storyboard it, and then do it. And by the time I'm done, the new guy in my team, he comes with a executed video.
Yeah.
And they're so fast.
Yes. Yes.
So is it changed, or it has become fast, or is it good?
Absolutely, it has. It is for the benefit of the what happens when you do something fast. There are two outcomes. One is you save cost. One is you will end up in a disaster.
Sure.
So the outcome, it has to be managed. Again, it's up to you, the creator. Again,
Sure.
it's up to the owners of the creator. How do you want to build the story? So, like you said, I still do the scribble, the old format, because our thinking is attuned like that. I do visuals.
Yeah.
I write headlines, so that I'm involved and engaged in that thinking. But now, a Gen Z kid, or a younger, even the later edition of millennials, early Gen Z, I mean the late early Gen Zs, I would say, the end of millennials. So they will come out with Canva designed output and idea.
Sure.
And it might be average, but at least the effort has become easier.
Sure.
They're faster. And that's, I think, it's a good sign, because you will have, instead of working on 2 good ideas in a day, you have 100 ideas
Sure.
to pick.
Great. Riju, I think it's been 23 years for you, right, from where you started till today. And you started your remote agency also. Okay.
Yeah.
I think remote, this word, you invented much before it was a word. How that thought came, and how is it right now? Like, how is it blooming? It's evolving, bootstrapping. What is it?
Yeah. So the remote model of work was started out of desperate need of the times.
Okay.
Because see, I started an agency before, we had our office space and we had the regular clients and the typical way of how agencies work. So I found, our overheads shooting up because of that physical space and, the committed salaries. It became, I don't want to, make a promise and then not meet it. So to cut that out and to cut costs, I thought we should work only remote. And this is after COVID, not very
Post.
yes. So it's only a
Yeah.
post-COVID development. Where I thought we should connect. I have a lot of network. I worked in UAE, so all my friends are spread across the world, I would say.
Yeah.
So some in US. So I try to engage on need basis, talent basis.
Sure.
So if I have a brand and brand identity design work, I would approach my ex-colleague who is working in UAE. So they are from Lebanon, they are from Saudi. Some of my Indian friends. So I align with talent which is needed for that project.
Great.
So that I found is better. And also the most important part is, when you're not employed by someone,
Sure.
you work as partners.
Correct.
The level of commitment increases as in a partnership model of work. The equal pay comes into a space. Okay, it's not good for an entrepreneur because if everyone comes for an equal pay, it doesn't work that way. But again, what is the contribution that person is doing? That person will be remunerated appropriately as per industry standards, and the commitment they have. Right now, it's a very not a new person like Fiverr. I don't know the person who's working or on a freelancer, and for any change there will be a multiple iteration. But here I have an advantage that there is a person I can rely on, and I have a response time guarantee. And that's working fine because right now I'm working on certain projects on AI itself.
But I think that's a very smart move. Why? Because I have been watching and consuming a lot of reels lately where founders of few top-notch Fortune 100 companies are promoting remote work, and the generation that I work with, they definitely don't want to be caged and work on stations, at least in our field as a marketer or advertiser. I think the best word I can say is freedom out of this remote approach.
Yeah.
And when you're free, I think you can come up with something that is very, very extraordinary. Because I think, the industry that we both work, is not a very good industry. It looks very flashy and glamorous. And I want to know from you, Riju, the darker side of our industry.
Yeah.
So can you just talk a bit about what the existing situational crisis that is going around the industry, agencies and, in our creative field?
Yeah. So I think the internet revolution gave birth to a lot of digital agencies.
Sure.
Than the print. When the print was, being debated that print is dying or dead.
Sure.
Print is still here to stay because there is a lot of brands
Print
that
will stay?
print will stay for at
Sure.
least some more time because India is not that like a Western world. We cannot rely completely on robotics or driverless vehicles. Until then, I think print will stay. It has a mass appeal. Yeah, there are challenges in the print media, but yeah, the point I'm coming to is the darker side of advertising. The birth of digital agencies gave birth to a lot of youngsters coming into, and there was a lot of tech involvement. So this typical agencies were trying to beginning to fade off. So to be relevant, they have to constantly reinvent.
Sure.
What I have seen, and the reason I moved away from advertising agencies itself was after a certain point, the agency lifestyle became, the work culture became toxic. It became unforgiving, thankless. I would say working in ad agency is nothing less than intellectual prostitution.
Oh my God. I definitely agree with you. The kind of pressure that we deal in, most of my colleagues and my peers, they think advertising and marketing is a very easy job because they think it is easy. And it is easy because everyone tells you what to do. The pressure that we deal is is, I think it's very unhealthy. All right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that pressure we take with us to our home, and is that also a darker side of it, the pressure, the deadlines, the time,
Yeah, it takes a toll on,
the demand.
people's health, big time. So I know, I'm not taking names. I know certain art directors who have got into chronic health issues.
Oh,
And the one mainline big agency in India, in Bangalore, showed him the door.
oh,
Instead of supporting him, the person who worked for brands, worked for the agency day and night, in and out, working, slogging,
sure.
extreme conditions. And then one fine day when he's unwell, he's being kicked out.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
So that's a harsh reality.
Sure.
Um, I always compare, advertising, creative people should have certain amount of freedom. Like, the days of Ali Padamsi when they were
Sure.
shooting for, I have read his book, Double Life. We must try reading how he managed the drama and, advertising, filmmaking, and, Literal was a brand. So after the shoot, they just break for, I don't know, 1 month or something. They just travel and they come back. I mean, they could afford, Ali Padamsi, Sally Padamsi. So that was a culture when you create a certain great campaign and then you let the creative people take a certain amount of, break. But that recharge is not happening. That's why the burnout happens.
Sure.
So even at work, people should have the regular intervals, and brainstorm, discuss ideas. So I always try to, motivate the youngsters, even in agencies, juniors, discuss ideas, not people.
Very true. Very true. Yeah,
So,
I agree with you.
so there is nothing good coming out of, such discussions when the general complaint.
But then, Riju, what I think is this generation, has become vulnerable only because they are born in this era. Because when I started working, I still remember we didn't had that hierarchy, like distancing or or subordination was very easy, and there was something that you and me call it as a freedom, and we enjoyed it. But today there is a number pressure. कितना घंटा काम कर रहा है, punch in है कि नहीं, punch out. I think there are a lot of other factors,
Yeah.
which this youngsters are not enjoying at all. All right. And
Yeah.
me as a leader, me as a marketing head, I always come across this, and my team, I always make sure if they want to take a chutti, want to take a break, do it. But then there is so much of pressure on me of deliveries, all right, and the numbers. So I really don't understand how to balance it out, Riju. I want to understand from you how to do it.
It is
How to crack the code.
It is bound to happen, no?
Mhm.
So, like I said, the birth of digital agencies, it's actually a good sign, when computers were in and it gave new opportunities. Like similarly, AI will create new jobs
Sure.
instead of thinking it as a negative that it's going to cut jobs. The transition is going to be difficult. That phase of transition is difficult because people are trying to figure out where do I fit in the whole scheme of things. That's where the youngsters, now coming back to the youngsters being, like I said, the attention span has been reduced to reels. So patience is a thing of past. Like the word performance itself, performance becomes performance when it is measured. Performance campaigns. So we are engaging youngsters in digital campaigns, which are targeted, hyper targeted.
KPIs, ROAS, yeah.
So the creative thinking is 20% and 80% is the
Analytics.
data and analysis.
Yeah.
So that's the world now. Agencies are like in two worlds. There is no 100% creative person without knowledge of a digital
You're
world.
dead. If you're only going in that creative field, and if you're not doing the analysis, you're not relevant at all.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree. So, apart from this darker and negative side, I think there are a lot of funny sides also, because marketing is such a dynamic field, and you get to work with a lot of versatile, requirements, demands. I want to know from you some real-time funny experiences of your career where you came across a dumb client or a dumb requirement, or maybe something that is very, very funny, Riju.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to pick because there are different moments when
yeah.
So see, there will be fights. It's like, why do you like to go and eat in a restaurant? Because food is being nicely served on the table.
Sure.
But you go to the kitchen, you will see chaos.
Correct.
So that was, I was going to connect. Kitchen is something like a creative studio where there is a creative director, the head chef, and then there's an army of the cooks. I mean, different people who do different tasks in a kitchen typically. So they are your visualizers, your copywriters, your graphic designers. That's the whole space. So coming to your question of what was again your
My
point?
question was
Yeah.
that, you have been in the industry for very
Yeah. Oh, wait, funny incidents.
So what are the incidents that you came across? Some funny incidents, funny clients, funny campaigns,
Yeah.
weird requirements.
Yeah.
No?
So so that I was coming to that. So when food is served on the table and you eat, and then if it is good, it's good.
Sure.
Everything is fine. But if it's bad,
Yeah.
then the whole blame goes to the
Sure.
kitchen and the chef.
Yeah.
So accountability, these things come into play. And in kitchen, at that time, head chef has to take the accountability. But in agencies, and if a campaign goes wrong, or something went wrong, um, or something went well, there will be a lot of people to take the credit. But when something goes wrong, there will be no.
Tell me some cases, man. Interesting.
Personal incident is when I was pitching for Bangalore Traffic Police account in Bangalore, we were working Linters. We created a campaign. My creative was, there was a rear view mirror of a two-wheeler, and there is Yamaraj.
Okay.
Okay, that was a bad execution, but there was a Yamaraj. Then objects in this mirror are closer than they appear. We have
Correct.
the
Yeah.
thing created there. So we won the account, but that was not published. It was a pitch work. So, but I published because we were handling a newsletter which spans across the agency, and this creative was used by another creative director art director sitting in Delhi. He put it for Rajasthan Patrika Award. He recreated it beautifully. He applied for Rajasthan Patrika Award and he won the award. It's not funny, it's a painful incident. So that's one thing. Funny incidents are, with client interactions. Sometimes you present an idea and you build everything. At the end of the day, they will ask, Ram Sita ka kaun tha? It's like that.
Color corrections आते हैं?
Logo to be bigger. Typical. So
what is the typical South Indian color palette for Bangalore?
I don't think regional
Colors nahi hai.
Yeah. But yeah, orange and the yellow and red is a flag national color. The state colors.
Yeah.
But I don't see that as a used in design or campaign for brands.
Yeah.
Unless there is a need for that idea. Otherwise, I don't think.
Riju, this is a evolving world, okay, and I keep reading, watching a lot of stuff. There was this very controversial ad that happened recently, Fair and Lovely, अब उस पे बहुत ज़्यादा controversy हुआ कि वो Fair and Lovely क्यों होना चाहिए. I think they changed the name also now.
Yeah.
It's
glow. It's glow and lovely, I think.
Glow and
Yeah.
whatever, like
Yeah.
handsome. So
Glow and handsome.
Yeah.
So it's a bold move. That's what I see when, as a nation, when there's a certain level of education that comes to a certain things, stereotyping was normal. Women are always seen in ads as seen as doing household chores. So they are in the kitchen cooking or serving the husband. This stereotyping should end at some point.
sure.
And we are already witnessing that sort of a change. It is part of that whole, larger view of things, that color don't matter. People can be, of different color, of different race. They will have different food taste. I may eat certain non-vegetarian, you may not. It's a personal choice. So these things should not influence any sort of bias. So even ads have a moral responsibility because you are addressing a certain, creating with a certain target audience in your mind. That should. It's a good move. The brand name was changed due to the public outcry.
There are a lot of case studies that I come across, and I read a lot, okay? तो अभी packaged drinking water Bisleri, okay? पहले उनका label was blue. I think most of their competitor, Aquafina, Kinley, सबका label was as per that, this only tablet. Then they made it green. So you see now 90% of the packaging water is going all green.
Yeah.
So why is that कि एक trend set होता है and then everyone starts following it?
Yeah, it's purely, color has a big role in branding.
Sure.
So certain colors, if I ask you red, which is the brand that comes to your mind?
Red, no, nothing coming.
Okay. To me, the first brand that comes to is Airtel.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Vodafone.
Sure.
The competitors using same colors.
Sure.
So now what is the difference?
Correct.
So, but still Airtel has got the top of mind record because I'm a customer.
Sure.
Probably loyalty,
Sure.
it's top of mind recall is there.
Yeah.
So certain color association becomes an advantage for a brand. Now that there are a lot of unorganized players in the mineral water category, and they all stick to take mileage out of what Bisleri has built as a color coded of aqua green. So a lot of brands you will see, and from distance, you don't care whether it is Bisleri, because of the color you're trusting that brand and just picking it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Aquafina is still retaining their blue. Kinley, the brand, is still running with the traditional blue, not the fluorescent aqua green kind of a color. So that is bound to happen. Somebody has built a success story, and you take it from there, and take it from there, and you don't have to start from ground zero.
Yeah.
So it's a smart thing, as long as you don't violate norms, and you don't legally get into issues by replicating 100%. So everything is done, and before that, or there are no more new ideas that are available.
Great.
Everything is done. So now it's about clutter, and in that clutter you have to break.
No, now red say I just got one brand in my mind is Zomato.
Exactly.
So Zomato ka case study is also very interesting. I think this guy knows the marketing, gimmicks, how to play with that.
Yes.
What is your take on Zomato and similar brands?
What is that from Zomato's point of view you're asking?
Anything that comes to your mind about
so
the brand?
Performance of the app and the availability of restaurant, I personally feel Zomato is not up to the mark. So even if I have a gold subscription, I use only when I go to dine out. Otherwise, there is no branding story that Zomato is doing something different and distinct. I don't see anything happening anymore.
Okay.
Apart from their branding of the carry badge. So on there are some quirky lines.
Yeah. So there is this very interesting story from Kerala, from your part. Beach mein, the one video went viral of Mr. Mohanlal. I think it was a brilliant ad. He did some interesting, acting there, where he, he's in his van, and he, wear the jewelry, and he, and poses as a woman. So it was very, very nicely shot, and it went viral. But I don't remember the name of the brand.
Yeah, that's a typical case of, when a celebrity just takes over the entire the story or the plot of the brand.
Sure.
So that's where, the brand becomes smaller than the celebrity. That shouldn't happen.
Correct.
So you should use the character in such a way that it justifies the brand story well, and puts the brand in the hero, not the hero become the hero. So Prakash Verma did a wonderful job with Mohanlal.
Sure.
An unexpected jewelry ad where a male is dressing up. I don't know what the message was. Even I don't recall the brand name. But it was a nicely executed creative. So there are different instances like this where brands people forget. I'm trying to recall. But before that, there was something connected came, but it slipped over my.
No problem. So I think with something very similar with automobile right now. Mahindra did a very nice ad with their latest car. I think it was B7. If I'm not wrong, they did a campaign from an old song of Nazia Hussain, Boom Boom. Okay, they recreated it, and that became a massive hit. That ad got a very, very good, like, recognition. And now I see every other brand, automobile brand is doing the same thing. They're picking up an old song, recreating it and putting it.
Correct.
So I think this is also from the same thing, right?
Yes, so celebrity endorsement should be, done judiciously. Like there was a point when Amitabh Bachchan was, except sanitary pads, he was brand ambassador for almost every product in India.
Sure.
From Pulse Polio
Correct.
program to name any brand. And like the aloe vera case, anything and everything had aloe vera. So it's a trend. People will harp on that trend. Now, like Amir Khan was used very well as a character in Coca-Cola ads.
Sure.
That's what I kind of recall when he came as a Sherpa
Sure.
in the mountain. There are two tourists going for this place, and he disagrees with everything with them until they approve that Thanda Matlab Coca-Cola.
Sure.
Then only that ad I faintly remember.
Correct.
But Amir Khan was used very well in different characters throughout that campaign series.
Yeah.
So that's where you justify a actor utilize his acting skills to portray a character rather than Mohanlal becoming only Mohanlal.
Sure. So great. Tata Sierra ka is also one case. Tata Sierra, they promoted the car as the legend is back. They copied exactly what Ford, Focus did. Ford Focus, maybe, So they copied from it. So अभी भी होता है, हम लोग बाहर से copy करते हैं?
Yeah, see, that's what that plagiarism cannot be stopped.
Sure.
Now with AI, there will be a lot of same thinking. So I give some exercise to my students in college, certain assignments. They will come out with, and the 60 students coming with an assignment on a common brief. There will be similarity of thoughts.
Sure.
In the old world, it is okay, very coincidental, and you give a benefit of doubt. Maybe they discuss together, it's fine. But with AI, using AI, there are a lot of thoughts which are just same.
Same, correct. Yeah.
Even the execution will sometimes match based on the prompt they gave and different. But again, you can give different layers to the execution.
Sure.
That's where ingenuity is. That's where creative thinking is. That cannot be ruled out.
So Riju, even I've spent a good amount of time in FMCG, okay? I've worked in product development for ethnic snacks, packaged drinking water, oil, and we know the way we do the packaging, the way we promote it in store, in retail, and the designing process. So I always used to think, the chips that I'm promoting, it's not healthy at all, but we still make it look very, very gimmicky, attractive. Same for oil. So many brands promote oil as a healthy component. They add so many different icons, and they say that if you consume this oil, you will you'll not get obese. But we all know the reality of it. So this is the gimmick thing. So what is your take? Gimmick works, or nowadays people have become smart enough to understand that they're bluffing?
Yeah, I think people are smart. Do your research before any sort of purchase or going to any restaurant. You will Google review and you will take your personal call before even ordering. There will be this cloud kitchens, may not be hygienic.
Sure.
So you do your research and it will continue to do that. So coming to your kitchen and this oil, pro healthy, I don't agree with fried, everything taken like, amrit. ज़्यादा हो गया तो भी poison हो जाता है.
Correct.
So it's like that. You take in, in its limit, nothing is bad because you need essential oils. You need your skin to be glowing. You need a supply of oil, in a certain minimal flow. So like I compared cooking and advertising, some time back. It's like a kitchen, you have an art director, you have a designer, you have making different dishes. Similarly, when it comes to home, home food, because these days,
You cook, by the way, right?
yeah, I do.
Good.
So I started cooking only after my, proper, I took cooking seriously after marriage.
Sure.
It's not because my wife doesn't help. She taught me a lot of cooking tips. But I remember when I was in 5th standard, I wanted a putta and put, so steam cake is called. made of rice flour, puttu, you know, of course.
Sure.
So I asked my mom, I want to learn to make, because that was my favorite dish, and with banana, I used to enjoy that. So she taught me, and I volunteered to make, and that's my first encounter in kitchen, and I enjoyed that. Only one part I know, and I from that age I started. But you know the traditional belief that boys don't need to cook.
Sure.
So that's a convenient way of not doing any sort of cooking work or kitchen related work. I think a lot of ads also to that extent we need to blame, showing women, stereotyping them as, you know, serving food on the table, like the Sundrop oil. I remember mom is coming with a dish and serving it on the dining table. Father is nicely enjoying, kids are enjoying, grandparents are enjoying. So there is only one person. Cooking becomes a stress when it's given to one person. But imagine if every member of the family contributes in a week. At least some days I will say I will cook today. Not necessarily when wife is or sick or something. You do a little bit of your part, and I believe that men should play a big role in the kitchen. Because it's not that, like I said, if you know to eat, you should be able to understand what ingredients are there.
But I think this is very common in a working family.
Yeah.
Because it was very common in my family. My mom was a working woman, a working lady. And I always seen my dad cooking because we're I'm an independent family. So when mom was working, dad was cooking.
Correct.
So even I do that. I think very
I was the same. Yeah, in our generation,
Yeah.
I've seen my father helping my mom in the
Right.
kitchen. So these are, subconscious messages that we receive as a child,
Sure.
and we grow with that.
Correct.
And when it comes, you're independent and you're living on your own. You don't have to depend on someone else to cook, or you don't have to depend on hotel food.
Yeah.
So these days, there are so many restaurants. Eating out has become more of a lifestyle thing. It's been it has, after COVID, I think the number of restaurants have opened up is big time. So I don't have the data, but to compare, but yeah, that's an alarming. You will see when you go out, so many shops, you will see restaurants. There are many opening, there are many closing. Yeah. So eating out became this thing. When you don't have to dine out, you will order Swiggy or Zomato, because you can't blame. The lifestyle is such. We are moving at a pace faster than thought, or faster than light, I would say.
Sure.
With AI, it has become even more faster. Like I said, again, everything is connected. Your patience, the quality of food you eat, everything begins from home.
Sure.
And now if your kitchen is not in order, which is why it affects your productivity. It affects your creativity.
Correct.
It's
Good
all
that you mentioned everything starts from home.
Yes.
I want to come there, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I want to know more about like your home. How is your home? Because you being a designer, a typical copywriter and all. So I assume that your home is very well designed.
Yeah. I was renovating my house. So unfortunately, today's world, we have limited templates. When you buy an apartment, you have templates given. So you don't have much customization option.
Correct.
So only thing I regret is in my interiors, I think the number of electric points I felt where was needed, that insightful thinking builder has not done. So I had to realign, rework in the renovation, all those factors. Kitchen was ignored big time. So now there's a personal story. My mom, we have in my Kerala home, there's a large kitchen, and the work triangle concept is alien to them.
Oh,
Because it was built in 86,
what is
87.
work triangle? I want my audience to know first.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. If you look at the stove, fridge, and the sink,
Correct.
it has to be handy. It should be in a triangular shape, where when you're standing in front of the stove,
Yeah.
easy to reach the fridge, easy to reach the wash basin.
Correct.
So that triangle has to be ergonomic. It has to be planned. There is certain thought that has been set up. So I think that is a factor which a lot of builders miss, and where we don't get to have a say. But then in the renovation phase, you address all that. That's all how I addressed all my.
But then there are a lot of brands also in kitchens now. Even we Tusker, we give a very good importance for this triangles, working triangles, all right. And our kitchens are built on that triangles only. So Coming back to that kitchen problem part, okay, what are the typical, like, Indian mistakes in kitchen
Yeah,
people do?
I wouldn't say it's mistake.
Mm.
Indian style of cooking is diverse.
Sure.
So, me having traveled across India, having traveled in UAE, across UAE, I have seen world cuisine.
Sure.
So, since you have seen that, you want to do certain bit of cooking and experiment with. Over the weekend, you have time to relax. It's a beautiful way to relax and de-stress yourself. Cooking is like painting.
Sure.
Every ingredient that goes is like a color. You have the right amount of spice,
Sure.
the right amount of coriander, or
Sure.
the related things.
Sure.
If one is in overpowered, then that art is spoiled.
Correct.
It is same with the dish, no? The taste will be spoiled.
Sure.
So there's a direct analogy between kitchens and creativity.
Absolutely.
So being a creator, it's a shame if you don't know to make dal and rice.
I agree.
Simple thing.
Yeah.
So I think I will narrate one nice story. Until 18 years, I was a vegetarian. So partly grown up in Bangalore, partly in Cochin. We had supply of fish and meat always, but somehow I didn't like. So after my elder sister's marriage, I was exposed and I was forced to eat non-veg. But then after that, there was no going back. I'm a hardcore non-vegetarian now. So, but I can live with dal rice. If there is pickle and curd, beautiful. So dal rice curd is a mandatory thing. That's my idea of a humble, light, easy meal, and it has a personal connection because as a child, I used to love this, and every day I'm okay with the same thing. My mom used to make that. So there is nothing that mom's food will break, beat.
I agree.
So it has a connection with my mom whenever I eat dal and curd and rice.
But I want to know that what are the typical mistakes people do in kitchen, like, ergonomics, or, constructing a kitchen or a modular kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Modular kitchen is an excellent, way of redesigning your. Why is it modular? Because it has it is factory made and built to your convenience.
Sure.
Even the slab height, there is I think 32 inches the slab height of the from ground level.
Correct.
So these are standard for a person of an average height, Indian average height. But if you want to customize, if you're a tall family of tall people, you have the option of customizing. Otherwise, you're living with the same, pain on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So these aspects, the engineering behind the kitchen is mostly missed, is what I feel.
Superb.
Obviously, like brands like Tusker, there are many other competitors
Sure.
for you, for sure.
Yeah.
The development in the design and engineering, the availability of materials, there are totally fungus proof, water resistant ply.
Sure.
All these things, since it is there, you utilize to your best option. So I personally engaged a lot in my even the colors. Colors are the last thing, but mostly the performance. What should come where should be the sink be. So all that is something what I feel is missing in the regular.
Mhm. So I think if you look back when you started your home planning and renovation, if you want to redo your kitchen, what will be your kitchen like? If it will be more storage and less, like, cooking, or more cooking and less storage, and how will you divide it? What will be a typical kitchen of yours?
It's like artist. You are asking an artist.
Correct.
You want a small canvas or a big canvas? So
I just want to know.
So I would
read
prefer
through it.
I would prefer a medium canvas where I don't have to invest too many on colors, paint, expense on that.
Oh.
But I want a brilliant output. But having said that, I need a certain space to perform my arms freely. I shouldn't be restrained.
Correct.
That's a very important factor in kitchen designing.
Sure.
There should be ample space to chop your vegetables on one side and then use it and wash it and then put it on the stove. So that level of planning, I take personally involved because I love to cook and I don't want to give that experience as struggle,
Sure.
as stress.
Done.
So to ease that, I would prefer a tall table, about the tall unit.
Correct.
To have microwave and
Sure.
all the three things set. The other aspect of Indian, which I got a taste in UAE, is the cooking range. the cooking range you can do a grilled chicken,
Correct. Yeah.
which is not common in Indian homes.
Because of the space?
Yeah, and the gas. So it is fitted with the gas, and the fire comes with that.
Sure.
But I don't know, when I inquired about this brand, there's very limited brands available. Bosch has one, I think. Yeah. So the cooking range is not very common.
Sure.
We are all built separate. The tabletop is what is trending. But I like to have this because I have a personal experience.
Great.
So I'll go to certain level of customization.
Sure. And I think India is a country where, as you correctly said, I mean, we are so diverse. The cooking habits are not very kitchen friendly. We use so much masala,
Oh.
oil, and the climate also, the moisture. So I think over a period of time, the kitchen starts rusting from inside. And I mean, from your part, especially in Kerala, I
So
think there's a
because
very common-
coastal region, so more than rust, the earlier the material they used the normal plywood. So because of moisture content, is bound to have fungus,
Sure.
and slowly it will degrade, and within 5-6 years we will have to replace the box unit itself.
Correct.
So now I think because the materials are advanced,
Sure.
and that part is taken care.
It is still not taken care.
Okay.
The wooden kitchen, I
Okay.
think in 90% of Indian household, they use wooden kitchen. So in Bangalore also, so many 60 to 70% of Bangalore kitchens have termites. They have pesticides, because the heart of a kitchen is from sink. And I mean, even if there is a slightest of leakage, I think the entire unit starts rusting from there. So it's a problem.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a design-led thinking.
Sure.
You would have come across this word many times.
Absolutely.
It is nothing but solving a customer problem,
Yeah.
a design problem, and creating a solution. That's design-led thinking. Now, this issue is existing still because there are so many builders. There are so many. I have handled real estate advertising for a lot of big names in the industry. What I have seen common is in apartments you have less opportunity to customize.
Sure.
And choice of materials, because they have already listed a set of vendors to do this, and that thing is taken care. I mean, is done, and there is and if you want to change, then it becomes an extra cost burden. So people get and also give to one person who builder recommends, and they don't go do enough research that are there in the market better brands who are focusing on kitchen designing.
Yeah.
That level of involvement people don't get because they are working, they are stuck in Bangalore traffic. Where do they get time to think about all this?
Education. I mean, we need to educate people through a lot of information that how important is kitchen. I think it is one of the busiest part of your house.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the engine room of your house.
Correct. Yeah.
If the engine is not functional,
Yeah.
you're disoriented, you're not functional.
Correct. Yeah.
So another important aspect is the bedroom.
Sure.
So where kitchen, it serves you food. I mean, the bedroom serves you sleep.
Yeah.
Now there is a certain level of thinking that goes when the choice of colors for your bedroom, the lighting has to be appropriate. Shouldn't be too bright. These things. When I was renovating my house, these things I factored in. Coming back to kitchen, even there the lighting is very important.
Absolutely important.
Because it shouldn't fall on your head,
Yeah.
and the shadow is seen on your dishes. So lighting is another important aspect in a kitchen.
Lighting is important nowadays. I mean, accessories are important.
These are very important.
So cutleries are important. So all that things come into this.
Yeah.
Great, Riju. So Riju, I think you made a very, very valid points about kitchen being the important part, the engine or the heart of a household. I also think there is another important part in a family, and that particular part is the better half, the wife, the lady, the mother, the sister. So how important is their involvement in selecting a kitchen? Because I think they spend a good amount of time in kitchen. So do you think, I mean, involving them, educating them is very important?
100%.
Sure.
Because not just kitchen. So in my case, my wife is the co-owner of the apartment. So I have to take her approval also.
I think it's everywhere in my house also. Yeah.
So obviously kitchen, they have, obviously they take over the kitchen. It is their, it's like their domain. But I disagree with that. Men have equal space in the kitchen is what I fight for. And I try to educate this kind of philosophy to my son. So yesterday he came and he made chapatis. He's 19. I said, next 2 years you will be independent. If you don't even know to make chapati, what's the point of, how you will survive and stuff. So yeah, kids will have maybe once in a week engagement in the kitchen. But I encourage everybody to be part of the kitchen who is really taking. Now there can't be two leaders. So you will take a lead at certain point, and then the other person will support.
Correct.
It's a vice versa. So it's a always a mutual discussion. So at home, not only kitchen, a lot of decisions we take together. When it comes to home renovation, we had common meetings. Definitely, your partner's voice is important to understand because they might be coming from a certain creative or non-creative, but it is an essential thing.
From the ergonomics point of view,
Yes.
because see, I mean, in our typical Indian height ka ratio, a male is a little bit taller compared to woman. Now, women spend so much time in kitchen, so everything should be in her eye level, and whatever she's opening or maybe the cabinets and all should be in that particular ratio, ergonomics. All right. So, do you think women are involved in all sort of this detailing in India, or that's not happening yet?
I think I have done my visit to certain interiors when I was doing renovating my house, wherein I found a lot of families come with their it's a couple decision.
Sure.
Even I've seen grandparents coming in to understand. Maybe they will go back home and discuss on the plans, and when the 3D comes, everyone will have a say in the design. Now coming to ergonomics, there will be, like I said, one main leader, and I think it should be optimum for an average Indian height,
Correct.
which here and there can be managed,
Sure.
irrespective of who is interested with the full-time job. In most cases, it will be a maid.
Yeah, cooking maid. Yeah. In metro families.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this is now apartment concept is what we have been discussing.
Yeah.
But in villa, you have more opportunity.
Correct.
Especially when large kitchens.
Sure.
In large kitchens, you end up walking a lot and developing knee pain when you are aging.
Sure.
So that's where the triangle concept works brilliantly.
Super.
So that is something I think a lot of Indians are now, because they have started living abroad. Not started now, it's been there. So they see a lot of modern apartments.
Sure.
And they want to create that in their villas.
Correct.
So in large spaces, it is more difficult and complex, I feel. Or
That's where approach like us come.
thinking has to be
Sure. Riju, most people think kitchen is more about design, but what it is all about? Fill in the blank, please.
I think kitchen is where husband and wife network.
Okay.
It is where they talk about, challenges or, planning about buying something or the paying of fees or, a lot of family discussions happen when you're cooking together.
Very good. Yeah.
That is one thing which I feel it's all about heart to heart.
Superb. Yeah, I agree with. And most of the time they fight also.
Yeah. नमक ज़्यादा हो गया.
अच्छा.
अरे मैंने बोला था अब एक बार डाला है.
Correct.
All those
Yeah.
things.
So Riju, now we are moving into the next section of our podcast. It's a very, very interesting, section. We call it as Tusker Bites, where we ask you few questions and you have to answer it rapidly. It's like a rapid fire, okay? It's something that comes to your mind immediately, okay? So, Virat Kohli or Shah Rukh Khan?
Virat Kohli.
A modular kitchen a necessity or a luxury gimmick?
Necessity.
Ashnir Grover or Nikhil Kamath?
वो कौन है? निखिल कामत.
Achha, great. Zomato or Swiggy, better marketing?
Swiggy.
A premium kitchen brand selling quality or just aspiration?
Quality.
Shark Tank India or Big Boss, better marketing platform?
Shark Tank India.
Shark Tank. Celebrity endorsement or influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing.
Open kitchens or smart designs?
Smart designs.
Do Indian home owners spend too much on interiors and too little on functionality?
Yes, too little on functionality.
Are architects designing for awards instead of homeowners?
Homeowners,
Founder brand or a company brand?
founder brand.
Riju, the name of our podcast is Built to Last. Okay. So I want to understand in your 40s, what exactly does this word built to last mean to you, and how is your approach similar to built to last?
That's a very brilliant foundation, I would say, very strong foundation. It's very inspirational, in fact, for Tusker Kitchens to do this initiative, and discussing about all this is very. I find it very interesting. Build to last as a thing as very apt for my journey in my work life, because every time, as an entrant, you enter the advertising industry, you learn certain tricks of the trade, and you move on, you gain experience, and after a point there is a new revolution. Every 10 years there is a shift. The digital marketing, the world is evolving at at a rapid pace, and you have to up your game by being in tune with the advancements that's happening around the tech world. So in that situation, you always have to constantly learn. So I make it a personal point to learn something every day. At least write one paragraph. So because when you sit and do a certain task, I think the natural flow of thoughts will come only when you put that first step.
Super. Yeah.
So I practice that daily. I write at least something. It could be a poem, it could be a song, it could be just an essay, kind of a small piece on nature. If I see something interesting on the road, I will write about that. In the scheme of, I'm working off advertising. I'm working on 2 film projects for my own project. One is a Malayalam movie script, and one is a Hindi movie script. So it will take. It's a passion project. So since I have not given a deadline, it is an open book right now. But I ensure I kind of align with or reinvent myself with the times. So now the latest is I'm working on a TVC commercial, which is completely AI developed. So it is done by just 3 people.
Sure.
Whereas there will be about at least 50 people production crew is reduced to 3. So I'm learning new things in AI, and I think there is a lot of future for generations. Here I would like to introduce the concept of farmer thinking.
Mhm.
A farmer never rests.
Correct.
A farmer, when he rests, we are all
Sure.
done and dusted.
Sure.
So I think AI, if there are Bosch, software division, they invest heavily on farming. How you can improve efficiency in the farming area. The farmer mindset is nothing to do with agriculture, but for the Gen Z to understand, because I come from a farming background.
Yeah.
Only my father was an exception in the family of 9. Uh, he went and joined the army, but his roots are from farming. So I was exposed at a younger age. After his retirement, I saw how paddy fields, how paddy is grown. There is a time for everything to do.
Sure.
So today, I think a lot of kids are missing out because of too much of entertainment. I feel there is overconsumption, and laziness seeps in, because when you're too much entertained, you're happy, your dopamine is high, you have nothing else to achieve.
Yeah.
So it's an easy way out, and it just goes out of hand. So the farming mentality, if you put, you will prioritize. You will do what is to be done and when, at what time. A farmer wakes up early before the sunrise. He goes and tenders to his plants. He will see early detection of any weeds or pesticides. He will put the right amount of manure, and he's like a baby. He's taking care of the farm. Like that, we have to take care of our thoughts.
Absolutely.
And good thoughts come when your gut is healthy. And when is your gut healthy? When you eat good food, gut healthy food. And where is it happening? All in the kitchen.
Absolutely, yeah. Amazing correlation, Riju. With that, I remember my school days. I had a teacher in my school. Her name is Samana's teacher. She gave me $1 million suggestion back then. All of us. She said that, David, no matter what, you have to write every day. No matter what, even if it's a paragraph, a line, a page. But end of the day, you do not sleep without writing. And I still follow it, no matter what my this is. I have a diary, I scribble it and I throw it. but it gives me a perspective of like, what my life is.
Yes, your
And
thoughts.
that also gives me, when I read it in the morning, I know, okay, I had a bad day yesterday,
Yeah.
so I have to start fresh.
Correct.
So I think writing plays a very important
Yeah,
role,
yeah.
Riju, I think.
Your vision, your goals are, when it is written,
Yeah,
it is structured.
sure.
So prioritize and realize and prioritize.
Yeah,
That's what I
correct,
should say.
correct. You have your agency called as Green Soda.
Yes.
So what that agency exactly is doing, and who are your aspirational clients, and where is that agency heading now?
Yeah. So, like I said, Green Soda is a consulting advertising agency, I could call. But I position myself as a creative problem solver.
Oh, wow.
Because I like to solve problems, because there is no point in discussions where there is no solution.
Correct.
So I take that ownership, and as much as possible in the classroom, I put a certain task to the students, and they come up with certain solutions. But then it will be half cooked, or because they are taking baby steps in the world of advertising. So there I try to solve their academic problems. When it comes to brands, I solve the brand marketing problems.
Correct.
So I always see as there is a solution to every problem. It is probably lying next to the problem. But most often people beat around the bush. They go around searching for solutions. They consult with 100 million people, but the solution was right there. Nobody showed them. So as a creative coach, I'm trying to build myself as a creative coach, where I mentor students and give them skills to be employment ready. So like a brushing school, to skill up themselves. So upskilling is part and parcel of my journey.
Sure.
If I don't upskill myself, I'm irrelevant tomorrow. So that's where I see myself as, build to last is very appropriate for me at this time. And every action what you do, like you plant a tree, it will be there even when you're gone. Great.
A very, very interesting point. Riju, also I wanted to understand, because I have an agency, where is more money, Riju? Because I am interested to know this. Money is in content, or money is in performance, or money is in SEO, or money is in like what, in marketing right now, or in agency? Where is the gold? Where is the money?
Definitely, it's in the digital marketing side of things.
The content?
Yes, content is the king always. So, for a youngster who is getting into advertising, first you have to take up soak up yourself into the dynamics of sales. Nothing but creatively we are selling a product or service. So now digital marketing is a weapon or a tool where you have to use it inevitably to get leads. Now that's where the performance metrics come into play.
Sure.
And clients are more interested in leads. Clients are more interested in converting those leads. So it's all about getting that visibility in the. If you scroll through Instagram, so many ads are.
It's polluted.
Yeah, it is pollution.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
So we can cut clutter through that.
But money is in content.
Money is in content.
Superb.
Yes.
And do you think this field will evolve in next 10 years, or it will decline? Because there was an evolution in marketing field. So next 10 years, what do you think, in agency field or in marketing field and content field? What is your forecasting about this?
Yeah. So I would like to believe, at least, AI is a tool that you can use to improve efficiency.
Sure.
But AI doesn't have a heart. You need a heart. You need a human
Correct.
to really weave in a human interest story.
Emotion.
Okay, stories
Yeah.
bots will create, but the real conviction comes from real person. So I don't think it will. There is a certain level of degradation that will happen.
But it will grow on.
It will grow.
Superb. So there is a ray of hope for somebody who is planning his journey in our field, in marketing, in creative agency, in there
Yes.
is a hope, right?
Yes, there is a hope.
Yeah.
But the trap is youngsters falling into everyone needs somebody to do their job.
Correct.
That's a universal fact. It existed. If you take for 50 member or 5-member agency, there will be 2 people who are doing the real job.
Correct.
The rest are just
20 ratio.
exactly.
Yeah.
So these youngsters fall in a risk of depending on bots. Imagine a day when internet is down.
Sure.
No work will happen.
Yeah.
That is a crazy space.
Superb. Yeah.
So So that's where the children, I mean the kids, young Gen Z who coming into the advertising world, they'll have to consciously put a veil saying that I will use AI for research. I will take ideas also, but it's my call to judge. The judgment bots, the ChatGPTs or Geminis will not do. Judgment, human judgment is always required. It will only give you, if you ask ChatGPT a certain question. Now people used to Google, which has shifted to ChatGPT. So if you ask an opinion, it will give based on a load of generalized opinions, and it will say this is what these people think. But I can also suggest something. So it's a neutral way of handling things. But that real conviction doesn't come. Only a human intervention can.
I agree. I think this is one last question, a very interesting question from the thing that I really picked up from the internet, and it had my attention for a very long time. Cockroach Janta Party, all right? And I think it is a phenomena where everybody is talking, a marketer is talking, a creative agency is talking. What is your take on it, Riju? I mean, leave the propaganda and politics aside, but from the creative side of it, I think these guys did an amazing job.
Absolutely. This is what is a viral campaign.
Sure.
Nothing else is a viral campaign until recently, apart from Cockroach Janta Party. So, politics aside, there is a real, desperation because the younger generation has started asking questions.
Sure.
As of now, it was a passive engagement.
Correct.
Now, there is at least visibility that I have certain questions, I have certain opinions about the way things are being done.
Sure.
So, which is a good sign.
So I think likewise there will be a lot of initiatives in the future, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The young generation has to, be more involved in whatever they are doing, and whatever as a society we are facing.
Yeah.
We should. I think it's a great moment.
Thanks a lot, Riju. Thank you for your time. I think it was a wonderful interaction, and we can keep on and on and on and on because I know you for a very long time, and the kind of energy, like the rub off you give, is amazing. I always loved working with you, and eventually, I mean, you came to our podcast only on my invitation, short notice. Riju, thanks a lot. We are doing this with a purpose, and we definitely would like to highlight stories like yours, Riju. Thank you from Build to Last by Tusker Kitchen, and we are very, very thankful for the interaction.
It's amazing. It's amazing, David. Thanks for the honor. I mean, it's really an honor for coming here and talking about with your audience, and hopefully it has done something for you.
Superb, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.